makes our life easier as well. Yeah, I'm just going to share the screen just to revise you with the accusative, and then we will look into what we can do. Okay, so article im accusative. So we have die bestimmte Artikel im Akkusativ lernen, die unbestimmten Artikel im Akkusativ lernen. And you can see, das sind unsere Lernziele. Lernziele means the learning goals. Du weißt schon, you know it well. And wen magst du? Ich mag die Frau, das Kind und den Mann. Wen magst du? Wen is a question, a W-Frage, which you might not have heard till now. It is a new word for you, and it means, one second. Yeah, it means that, you know, wen is whom. Yeah, so whom do you like? And it says, ich mag die Frau, ich mag das Kind, and ich mag den Mann. So only with the masculinum gender, we have a small change in the way that the article really holds. Yeah, I like. It comes from the verb mögen, M-O umlaut G-E-N. O umlaut G-A-N, mögen, and the conjugations of mögen is ich mag, du magst, er sie es magt, wir mögen, ihr mögt, and sie mögen. So mag is a very often used verb because whenever somebody asks you your opinion or your way, then you would say, I like this, I like that. Or like is a verb which really is a very often used ones by humans, of course, because we know our desires, we can express ourselves. And in Germany also, you can listen to people using ich mag a lot. Yeah, and when it comes to the just the 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 masculinum, it changes from der to den. That's the only change we have. And we will go further to see eine Wiederholung. And even this word is a very nice word. Wiederholung bedeutet revise of English. We are revising the concepts. Okay. Der unbestimmte Artikel wird für Neues verwendet. Der bestimmte Artikel wird für Bekanntes verwendet. Yeah. The unbestimmte Artikel wird is like, it is used for new things. Wird verwenden is a verb which means to use. And their bestimmte article, the bestimmte article is nothing but the definite articles will be used for bekanntes. Bekanntes means already you know. Unbekanntes is unknown. Known and unknown. The Gegenteil von bekanntes is unbekanntes. Bekanntes means to know, and known, or you can just like say the word known, Known. And unbekanntes means unknown. Neues means new. Neu means new. And the Gegenteil is alt. ALT is old. How old are you? We ask, right? Wie alt bist du? So that is what is alt and neu. Bekanntes and unbekanntes. You can see here, unbestimmte Artikel. A man comes to the cafe. Ein Mann kommt ins Café. And bestimmte Artikel, der Mann heißt Tom. The man is named as Tom. The man is called Tom. The man is Tom. So you are showing somebody or you are pointing out and you know that the person's name is Tom. So that makes it very clear that you know it. One second. Yes, sorry, there was a call. So, unbestimmte article, a man comes to the cafe, or the man is named Tom. So, these are the two things. And when we go further, we can see that what changes. And this is a table. And I think like I will upload this into your drive today. You can just take a look on it. So you have the Geschlecht, means the gender, Maskulinum, Femininum und Neutrum, Nominativ und Akkusativ. Der, den, die, das. Yeah. So you have these things and you know like only the masculine changes in the accusative. So when do we use accusative? Im Akkusativ Singular heißt der bestimmte Artikel den, die oder das. So if you say the definite articles, there are three definite articles, den, die, das. In the nominative, which means the subject of the sentence, there are three articles, der, die, das. And the last thing that we need to know, which is very, very important, is das direkte Objekt in einem Satz steht im Akkusativ. So if you want to just name the direct objects in English, you can call them as accusatives. Accusative, that's it. So this is what is all about what we saw the last time. And you also know, like here we see that what is the plural? Plural is D, and in accusative also it is D. So you don't have any change with any of the things except for masculinum in accusative. So we did this last time, and now I would like you to just look at it. Look at this slide carefully, and the title says very clearly, I see, and it is like the and a masculinum, die a femininum, or plural. Okay, so I'm going to just give you an example. Zum Beispiel, wenn ich sehe das erstes Bild, das ist eine Familie. Das ist eine Familie. Ich sehe die Familie. Yeah, I'm seeing the family because I'm sitting right here. I'm just seeing the picture of the family and I know this picture well. Ich sehe, die zweite Bild ist ein junger Mann oder Junge und er liest ein Buch vielleicht, oder ich weiß nicht, ob das ein iPad ist. Ich weiß nicht genau. I don't know really. Is that a phone or something like a book? So, ich sehe, I'm seeing the schooler is what, or the schoolboy is what I need to say. So, I would say, ich sehe den Schüler because Schüler is der Schüler. That is the article for the schoolboy, der Schüler. So the masculinum changes. So it becomes ich sehe den Schüler. Is that clear for everyone? Are there any doubts? Please ask me. Others can look at the other four pictures and write down what could be the article. Is there an article change for the other four pictures? You are seeing a Man, Mutter, Frau und Opa. Opa, weißt du, was ein Opa ist? Wer ein Opa ist? Yeah, that's right. Grandfather, or you can say Opa is Mutter's Vater oder Vater's Vater. Means father's father or mother's father is Opa. You can do that and see how it works for you. I'm going to give you like maybe 2 minutes. In your note also just write down like few things, like one with a masculinum, for instance, ich sehe den Schüler, ich sehe, and with a feminine article, with a neutral article, and with a plural article. So there should be 4 sentences in your note which says ich sehe. Yeah, after you finish these things you can write down in your note. Okay. So, were you able to find out? Is there anyone who would like to just read that man? Ishzaya. How will you write that whole sentence? Can you read the sentence with if there is a change in article?
Ich sehe den Mann.
Ishzaya. It's like ha becomes ya. That's the sound. Ishzaya. Can you say that Atul for me again?
Ich sehe.
Sehr gut.
Ich
Ishzaya
sehe den Mann.
den Man. Den
Den
Man.
Mann.
Man. Sehr gut. Okay. And the next one, Mutter. Somebody else, would you like to read that for us? It's easy, right? Just come forward to read it. It is also one good exercise for me to listen to you. Anyone?
Ich
Yes. Yeah.
sehe die Mutter,
Ich sehe
die Mutter.
die Mutter. Sehr gut. The next one, Ajay, would you like to read? Yeah, Ajay.
Ich sehe die Frau.
Ich sehe die Frau. Yes, Yatharth. Next one. Yatharth, we are not able to hear you at all. Yatharth, are you there? No? Sai, can you read that for us? Yatharth, we still cannot hear you.
Ich sehe den Opa,
Okay. Ich sehe.
den Opa.
Okay. That's good. Den Opa. Danke sehr. Thank you. And now you can do this. The next verb. First verb, what you have seen is sehen. Sehen is I see. You cannot finish a sentence with I see. You see what or whom is the question. And these two questions, you have to go to the verb, think the verb as a person, and ask the verb, whom do you see or what do you see? And that question is wen. W-E-N. Wen. So, for instance, if you see, I'm going to stop the sharing, come back to the whiteboard for a minute so that we can write down and note down some things. For instance, for nominative, okay, you have to go to the verb, ask the question, who or what. Yeah. But in English is it is this, but ich glaube, dass wir müssen auf Deutsch schreiben. We need to write it in German. So wer, who, which means like who, oder was. These are the question, I think, yeah. These are the question words for nominative. Okay. And then you have the accusative. And here you can see the verb, go to the verb, ask the question, whom or what. And when you ask these questions, the verb, the answer which comes is the accusative case or the nominative case. Wen oder was. These are the two questions that you will ask the verb. So, whom do you see? I see the family. Or what do you see? I see a picture, for instance. So, these are some things that you need to go to the verb, ask the question, and when the answer comes, that the answer which comes out of these questions is in nominative case when you ask wer oder was, or when oder was when you ask the question to the verb, then it gives an answer which will be a direct object. Is that clear? I would like you to write it down in your note in a very, very bold one. Nominative, go to the verb, ask the question who or what, wer oder was. And Akkusativ, wen oder was sind die zwei Fragen. So are the two questions. Yeah. It could change in context, whether you to use wen or was, which means whom or what. Any one question only will be answered. You cannot ask both the questions. There'll be only one answer, and one question will be the only one which will be answered. And if we,
Ma'am,
yeah,
ma'am, 1 minute, ma'am. If we ask the question as what, if they have an answer, what would be is in nominative or in accusative form?
for instance, if I'm going to ask, he is Atul. That is what I am giving this question. Okay, I'm giving this statement. He is Atul. Who is he? Is the question you can ask, right? He
Mm.
is Atul. He is Atul. That's what you will answer. Or you can say, uh, uh, for instance, Ajay arbeitet by Siemens. He works in Siemens. This is the sentence. And when you ask who works in Siemens, I will answer Ajay works in Siemens. That is in the nominative case. Can you see that he is the subject of the sentence? Nominative means just the subject. If it indicates or just shows its finger to the subject of the sentence, then it is nominative. For instance, I'm going to ask the verb, I am searching for my pen. This is what I'm doing. I'm searching for something. What are you searching for? I'm searching for my pen. That pen will be in bold. Can you see the difference? And that is not, the pen is not the subject of the sentence. Who is searching? I am searching. What are you searching? For a pen. So I am searching for a pen. I am is a nominative. Pen is the accusative. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So I'm going to stop sharing this and come back to our class. 1 second. 1 second, Ayush. Okay. So the first verb what you learned is sehen, which means to see. Now I would like you to look at the next verb, which is suchst. Suchst comes from the verb suchen. It is to search. I am searching. Okay. Or I am watching. Suchen has two meanings. One is searching. One is watching. Yeah. Or for instance, the first thing, if you see, I cannot be searching for a film, they are watching a film, right? Suhan is to watch or to search, both meanings. So you can look at it and write down the sentence in your note. Ich du suchst, and then or Buch or Kind or Hund, Kaffee, Brot. You have to find the articles. Probably you will know these articles, so take a look and then try to work on.
Hello. Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yeah. Yes, yeah, that right now.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So can each one of you take turns and just read one of the picture, any picture? You don't have to go in order. So any picture, if you want to read, you can read that. Shall I just call out maybe? Okay, so we'll start with Yatat. Can you just start with one reading one?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Du suchst das Kind.
Du suchst, suchst. Can you do that again for me?
Du suchst,
Ja. Du
du suchst
suchst das Kind.
das.
Sehr gut. Sehr gut. And Joey, can you do the next one for us? Joey, it was not clear. Can you come again, please? Noch
Ich
einmal bitte.
trinke
Mhm.
den Kaffee.
Ich
Ich trinke
suche
den Kaffee.
den Kaffee. Kaffee. Ja, sehr gut. Ich suche den Kaffee. Do you search for your coffee? You keep your cup somewhere? Do you do that?
I
Yeah, many people in the office they do
search
that. And definitely, I've seen these Germans do that because they would be walking with coffee and they will never know where they have left their cup at times. Not everyone, of course, but many people will be searching for their coffee because they would go to some cabin with the coffee. Like it's not that you cannot go with your coffee or you cannot. There is no das ist ein Regel or there is das ist nicht ein Muss, dass du musst nicht laufen mit der Kaffee. No, you can walk with your coffee cup everywhere, even at times. I don't know how it is. Like, sometimes they even go to the bathroom with the coffee just to even wash. They go inside the toilet, finish that last sip. I would be like, my God, I can't really handle that alone whenever I go to the bathroom and see this coffee cup person with a coffee cup. They don't bother about it at all, actually, to say. I don't know, maybe I am like a little clean freak or something, but yeah, they don't bother. So they do search for the cafe. Okay, the next one. Sid, can you go next?
Du suchst den Hund.
Du suchst den Hund. Sehr gut. Du suchst den Hund, of course. And Siddharth, can you go next?
Yes, ma'am. Du suchst das Brot.
Du suchst das Brot. Sehr gut. Und ja, das kann für uns passieren. Das kann für uns passieren. Das bedeutet, that can happen to us. Wo? Wo is where? Where does that happen? Ich suche für das Brot or ich suche das Brot. Where do you search for the bread at times? Welches Platz ist das? Which place do you search? Usually in, where do you search breads for? Bakrai, yeah, you have a person right there. You go, tell him, he will give it to you. At times, when du bist in supermarket, yeah, dann du suchst das Brot. You can search for the bread. You never know if it's a big one. You never know where the the Abteilung sind. Abteilung means the section, the bread section, the grocery section, the fruit section. You never know. Sometimes, if it's the first time, then you do suchst das Brot. Sehr gut. And anything else? Du suchst das Buch because it's das Buch. And I think everything is fine, right? Okay, one more thing is there. Let me see. Kino, was hast du geschrieben? What have you written down? Jemanden? Kannst du das Kino mit Kino antworten? Can you somebody answer that one sentence with Kino?
Who suchst das Kino?
Du suchst das Kino? Ja, du suchst Das Kino, because it's das Kino. Sehr gut. So, du hast schon zwei Verben im Akkusativ gelernt. Sehen und suchen. Ja? Dann gehen wir weiter in unserem Buch. Das heißt, viele aller Verben, das sind im Akkusativ. So we'll go back to the book and you can see like there are many verbs with the accusative. But before that, the only thing that I would like to tell you is about the unbestimmte article. When you don't know, when you want to say, I see a man or I see the man, that is a difference. I see a child, I see the child. I see a lady, I see the lady. That's the difference between bestimmte and unbestimmte article. And you can see that what changes when you want to say I see a man. Just take the same thing, okay? Here, for instance, is the sandhi den and d. Yeah, ich sehe einen Mann. Ich sehe eine Frau. I'm seeing a lady. I'm not saying to any. I'm just calling somebody and saying I'm seeing a family. The family is not known to the second person whom I'm talking to. Yeah, I'm going to say, I'm seeing a family on the beach. That's what I'm going to call my friend and say, I'm seeing a family on the beach. Ich sehe die Familie. Yeah. But when I say a family, then it is ich sehe eine Familie. And if I want to say I'm seeing a school boy, ich sehe einen Schüler. Ich sehe einen Mann. Ich sehe eine Mutter. Ich sehe eine Frau. Ich sehe einen Opa. Is that clear? And when you come to das und den, that's also the same thing with the das also. Ich sehe ein Kino or du suchst ein Kino. You're watching a film. Du suchst ein Buch. You are searching for a book or searching a book. Du suchst ein Buch. Du suchst ein Kind. Du suchst einen Hund. Du suchst einen Kaffee. Du suchst ein Brot. So what is the major difference? Only in masculinum you have these three articles in nominative. Eine, ein. Like your der, die, das. The articles in accusative changes to einen, eine, ein. So the accusative is the only one which changes from the nominative. So you have a very small change when you say, when you want to say, I see a man from I see the man. Ich sehe ein Mann. Ich sehe einen Mann or ich sehe den Mann. So you, when there is for instance, yeah, like this, you don't really look into the options for now. Now you, was ist richtig? Yeah, you can try doing this and we will see whether you're able to really get that small nuances of this grammar part. How and what has to be written. Look at whether it is a subject of the sentence or look whether it is the object of the sentence. If it is a subject, it is in the nominative case. If it is the object, then it is in the accusative case. Just look at it and try to fill it in. You have the options. You can use the options A oder B. Okay. So let us just like see any words that you were not able to find out. Any new words? There are four verbs in this four sentences, isn't it? All the four verbs are different. Schmeckt, it is to taste. Möchte, would like to. Suchen is to either search or watch. Belt is to bark. Hund, bellen. Bellen comes from the verb belt, is like from bellen, which means to bark. Yeah. So, what is the right answer for eins? Sai, can you just tell me what's the right answer for the first one?
Den Kaffee smells good.
Mm, who
Den
tastes well or what tastes good?
Kaffee.
Then it is the is it the
Yeah,
subject or the object?
here subject
Subject, exactly. So what would be the article for the subject?
also dear coffee.
Sehr good. Subject, if it is a subject, der, die, das. When it is an object, it is den, die, das, die. Der, die, das, die, den, die, das, die. You have to really quickly remember that. Yeah, Sai, can you
Okay.
please attempt for the second one as well? Can you just let me know what is the answer for the second one?
Ich mochte einen Kaffee.
Ich möchte einen Kaffee. Sehr gut. Here, who would actually, for instance, what is the question we need to go and ask the verb? What do you like to have or whom do you like to have? Whom doesn't make sense because it's coffee, right? What do you like to have? I like to have a coffee. That is in bold letters. So that is the object of the sentence. And when you come to this Mjösten, you can, who would like to have a coffee? I would like to have a coffee. That I becomes the subject and cafe becomes the object. Very good, Sai. So did you understand it because last class you were not there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying little. I have
Okay.
not heard that class audio file.
Yeah, okay. So just hold on like till the end of the class, and still, if you have any doubts, stay for 5 to 10 minutes in the end, and we can just have a small discussion in case if that you need any clarifications. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So so the next one is like maybe Amy, can you just try the next two sentences for us?
Wir suchen das Kino.
Sehr gut. Wir suchen das Kino. When it is plural, when es ist ein Femininum und neutral, you don't have to worry about accusative nominative. You can just say das Kino. So the people, actually the students, when they write the exams, I have also written my exams. I've been a student, right? So when I'm not sure of the masculinum, yeah, I always take the words which I know, and usually I use a femininum. I know at times, like most of the feminine words are the ones that I learned first because only almost 60% of the words are femininum, not 60, I should say 50 per 40 40 20, yeah, 40 30 20. That should be the case, I think. But there are more number of femininum than masculinum in German. So I started learning whenever I learn a new theme. For instance, now we are doing Essen, for instance, food. Then I would learn all the feminine words first because that makes my life easier. Ich möchte, if I don't know cafe in masculinum or femininum, then I would really have two things. One is mostly what I like coffee, I like tea. That's two, der Kaffee und der Tee. You don't have to worry about it. Then der Saft, juice. So I go with one or the other themes to find out what are all the genders and keep usually a femininum in hand because in masculinum, sorry, in accusative and nominative, die, das, and the plural die doesn't change. Die Familie sind schon. The family is beautiful. Die Familie sind nach Berlin gefahren. So I know die Familie, die Eltern. Eltern is parents, yeah. Anything in plural will not change in accusative and in nominative. So these are small tips and tricks that you need to know when you are writing your exams. So don't go for something in the exam what you don't know. You have to always attempt to what you know. So that is what you can, how you can really score very well in your exam. So when I did my B1, I was completely prepared and I got a note eins. Note eins is like the first, like the distinction, yeah. So it is because, like, you need to know, of course, the language with everything into regard, but there is also an exam preparation. If you're just going to sit, for instance, you have 10 chapters, okay, I'm going to like look at, usually I do 6 chapters every time thoroughly. 10 chapters, I'm just saying 60% of what is the whole portions, I will do that well. And from the other 40, I would always look into the previous papers or anything to look into what has been the most important questions alone in this 40%, which actually saves my time into preparing that 60%. So I've always scored well because I know very clearly the learning is very different from exams. And you need to really put a little bit of your brain on one way for learning a language, and the other part of the brain to prepare for the exam. If you know these two things very well, I think like even scoring in your German test would be like the easiest one. Like it'll be a piece of cake for you. So this you need to have in mind. Whenever I tell you this, just take it in your mind and absorb it and write it down somewhere and keep it right there. It will definitely, like, you will see that. So when you know a word, if at all I'm saying we are Suhan, it is Daskino, good. And just like replace it with any other masculinum, femininum, or your neutral, we are Suhan Daskino, we are Suhan die Frau, we are Suhan die Kinder. Kinder is plural. Wir suchen den Mann or den Opa, den Hund. All of these are masculine. So you need to replace the same sentence with any number of, the nouns, that that improves your vocabulary also. Okay, the last one, Emmy, Hund belt.
Der Hund bellt.
Der Hund bellt, while who barks? The dog barks. So that is the subject. Sehr gut, Emmy. Danke sehr. Thank you so much. So that is what it is. And I think we should stop right here and go back to our lesson. But before that, I'm going to send you for a 5 to 7 minute breakout rooms. Just discuss between yourselves about der, die, das, and plural. Yeah. Okay. So that is what it is. And you can go for 7 minutes, write down. There are like other verbs that I'm going to write it on the board for you so that you can. Okay, it's saved. So you can write down or discuss about it. Kaufen is a verb to buy. Suhan, already you have to search. Write it down in your note so that you can just see. Suhan, and then sehen is to see. Brauchen is a verb which means to need. Ich brauche. I need. You can't see all these verbs. It is easy to find because you need something to finish the sentence, isn't it? Otherwise, it's a phrase. It's an incomplete sentence. I buy, I search, I see, I need. These are all incomplete sentences. So you need to really know about it. Any other verbs? Maybe machen. These are all there in your book as well, but I'm just writing down so that machen is to do. And then you have any other verbs. Essen is a very, very important verb. And I think the first verb I would also like to write here is not kaufen, instead. How we said sein is 100% Nominativ. Haben is 100% Akkusativ. If you see any word, sorry, any sentence with wir haben, you have to immediately say wir haben einen Hund. We have a dog because haben is accusative and the object that follows the verb haben will have only accusative objects, which means a dog or for instance, a cat or for instance, cats. These are the three things. Ich habe einen Hund. Ich habe eine Katze. Ich habe ein Buch. Ich habe viele Katze. Means a lot of cats. So that's plural. So that is how it is. So 100% accusative. And the next verb is essen. Essen is to eat. So think of any of these food items like fish, salad, or you can say broth or rice. You need to know the gender of these things, which is already there in your book, the fourth lesson, the page one. You can see a lot of items that the person sits with, like the Mittagessen, Frühstück, Mittagessen, and then Abendessen, Kuchen und like cafe, like the snacks. So you have seen a lot. Look at that and try to discuss a little bit. I'm just going to put you in groups so that you can discuss. Who were the ones who were not there last week? Sai was not there, and
Me, ma'am.
Siddha,
Ajay.
Ajay, you were there, right? Last few minutes only you were not there.
Last 1 hour, I think.
Yeah, that was okay because like it
Yeah.
was Juhi was not there. Okay,
Ma'am, I
so
was also not there.
Siddharth Kishore, right? Yes,
Ma'am.
Siddharth. Yeah,
Arul.
yeah. Okay, I'll be putting you with, I'm just like going to see how I can, 1 second. So just discuss with the person and see. 1 second. Mm, let me just give me a minute, okay? Yeah. Okay, so the accusative part, unterstreichen Sie die Artikel in Aufgabe B, ergänzen Sie die Tabelle. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So the cheese is good. What is good is a question. You'll go to the verb. Here is the verb, isn't it? It comes from the verb sein. What is good? The cheese is good. Is there any object in this sentence?
The cheese.
No, I'm
Me,
asking
no,
about
no
the
object.
first sentence. No
No object.
object. It is a complete sentence, but it doesn't have an object. So this sentence, der Käse, means the cheese that you already know about. It could be the cheddar cheese, for instance. That's the only cheese that they buy. Then I'm buying some cheese or I'm buying the cheese. Which is the object in the sentence? I'm buying the cheese.
Cheese.
The cheese is the object. Who is the subject in the sentence?
I.
That's right. So, for instance, if you say, Ich kaufe den Käse. Accusative can also have all these forms, they say. Ich kaufe den Käse. Ich kaufe einen Käse. Ich kaufe keinen Käse. I'm not buying a cheese. That are these three things are nothing but what are the other forms of writing accusative? Yeah, you can use a bestimmte article, you can use an unbestimmte article, or you can use a negation article when there is you're not buying a cheese. If you want to say, then you can say ich kaufe keinen Käse, not kein Käse. Is that clear?
Yes.
And for instance, how will you say for the bread? Can you fill in the table for the second one for me?
Uh, the second one.
Sie kauft das Brot. What are the other forms of writing das Brot in accusative?
Uh, das Brot.
Das Brot. Yeah. And the first thing is already here.
Yeah.
See? No, no,
Nay.
no. No, no, no. Brot is neutral. So
Neutral.
look at the first sentence. Den Käse, den is there, right? Den is right
So
here.
das will be there.
Ah. So here, if it is das Brot, what will be the first one?
Das Brot.
Das
Das.
Brot. And in the unbestimmte article, what is the article for das Brot in accusative?
Ein.
Ein. Sehr good. Because only in masculine it changes to einen. Because you can see this den, right? Den. That en is added to the unbestimmten article at the end. Okay? Nothing is like, I can just show you. Maybe I can highlight it. I was just thinking. No. Okay. So I just wanted to see, I wanted to highlight these two things. Den, en is added to einen. Other than that, all the unbestimmten article stays the same. Sie kauft das Brot. Sie kauft ein Brot. Sie kauft kein Brot. Yeah. So den, einen, keinen. Keinen means no, not. Okay. It's a negation. Das, ein, kein. D, what would be the unbestimmten article in accusative, Yatharth?
Eine.
Eine, sehr gut. Eine, keine. And for the plural, can you try?
Die.
Yeah, then there is a box. Do you remember that when we learned about the bestimmten and unbestimmten, we said in the indefinite articles, there are no articles. So you can say, ich kaufe Tomaten. That's it.
Because means only one. That's why.
One, that's right. So here we don't have in the plural, but for the negation, you have it. Wir haben keine Tomaten because you need to negate it somewhere, isn't it? Otherwise, if it is like there is another word, they wouldn't have put this keine, but there are no other words to negate something. So definitely you have to use a negation. So that is the reason this keine Tomaten comes, which means I do not have any tomatoes, not a tomatoes. In this case, it becomes any tomatoes. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. Others, were you able to underline all the articles in this paragraph? Are you still doing it, or have you done it already? Okay. So I'll take it as yeah, but then I'm just going to really put this into your minds and leave it. Just don't do anything for today, okay? Don't really take this book again for today at all. Tomorrow, I would like you to just take the book and do only this bay alone. And if you have the Clet augmented, please take it and listen to the audio here again and see, you have to really come to one conclusion. Why is it Dane Salat? Die Gurke, das Fleisch, das Fleisch, die Würstchen, and why is it wir brauchen Tomaten, Oliven, Öl? Where are the articles right here? This is a question that I'm going to leave you with. Don't do anything today. Tomorrow, please take it and revisit all the concepts that we have learned today. I'm going to ask Vatani to share the audio in case if you need it again. Please ask her to send the audio and learn the audio once more. Look at the table right here, and you can just look at 7 also. This will be your homework for tomorrow. Is that clear? And just be open and try to just have those concepts in your mind, but don't worry if you have not understood. You will understand that in the coming classes. I can vouch on that and tell you. Yeah. For instance, one of the groups, they really asked a question. Like Sai asked me a question, so can you just say one thing that is like whom? In the accusati we say what or whom are the questions that we ask, right? So I just told him one example that you can also think of, is a dog bit a man. Der Hund beast den man. Beast is like bit or bite. Yeah. It bit a man. Whom did the dog bite? A man. For instance, if I want to replace it with shoes, the dog bit my shoe. Then what did the dog bite? The shoe. Whom did the dog bite? The man. That man in the first sentence is accusative object, and the shoe in the second sentence is the accusative object. Yeah. Here, who is the, in both the sentence, what is the subject? Who is the subject? The dog is the subject. Yeah. Just have the sentence with you and work on it. Next class, we will go a little further into this, the same thing with different sentences to really make, like, come to a little understanding of what this accusative all means. Yeah. Okay, so it's 12:01. Choose, sehen wir uns wieder am Mittwoch um 5 Uhr. Eh, Is everyone there for that class? Is there anything like for Ajay, Atul, is there any other classes that is clashing with yours or?
Ma'am, we don't know on the Wednesday timetable. You want to check first.
Okay,
I
okay.
don't know.
Just write to me or message me if you're not there.
Okay, ma'am.
And I have asked Vatani to record the whole session for, I have, like, it records automatically, of course.
Ma'am, if you
But
can, then please upload it in the drive. It will be very helpful to everyone.
yeah, yeah. But the thing is, like, she has to upload it. I cannot upload it directly. That is what is being said to me. That is what is a problem also. Yeah. So she will upload it. I've been like in back of her. The other recording, I think most of you got it, right? The last class recording. Sai,
Ma'am, yesterday I got it.
yesterday you got it.
Yeah,
Okay,
ma'am.
good.
Last class code I got,
Yeah,
but
because I was in
before
back
we
of it.
have missed a
Huh.
class
Which one?
that I have not got.
Please ask her because all the recordings are there in the mail itself. Like, she has to just share it from the Zoom meet. So I gave her the link for the Zoom meet,